Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Gozi and this is Chat with Gozi. Please, if you're here to subscribe, kindly click on the subscription button. Click on the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I post any new video. Now, this was the reaction of the housemates when the parrot started talking. And what was the parrot talking about? The parrot basically exposed Ike, but without calling his name. Yes, Ike had a conversation where Ike was saying that guys used to call him and all that he wants to be that the guys want to be friends with some of all these BB Niger girls, and he can remember that he has even called Venita. The way he sounded, it was more of like he was talking about hookup and all of that. So that's the conversation the parrot brought out. Just that the parrot did not say who said it. So that was the expression of the housemate. However, things are well because number one, they don't know who talk, and number two, even the Venita that she heard her name was a bit confused as to what was being said there. And there were many reactions from people online. See this person said, "Dear at BBN Niger, as your jury are leaving on Sunday, they should go with the parrot. A parrot that cannot spill more than five gist and also mention names is not a parrot but a butterfly." Do you agree with this person? I feel like for the parrot to actually be successful in bringing out that drama, the parrot should be able to say, Ike said to, you get, call the name of the person, say who he was saying it to. Yes, because we all know that that parrot is not the one talking. Uh-huh. And yes, so lest I forget, the housemates now are being cautious of talking in the lounge and the dining because the parrot is there. So they feel like talking outside is better. Like Venita, when she was talking to Sheyi, she was trying to count what she had said to people in that area because they feel like the parrot would only say things that were said in that area. Personally, I don't believe so. I believe the parrot will say whatever gist they've said in the house entirely. Well, Dwayne's handler tweeted, and the person said, Una no go drag the parrot. Abi parrot is immune to dragging. Moving from that, so Sisi's handler posted, and it was just basically hype, yes. The handler was like, our girl's handwork was evident. Add designer to our CV with too much. Wager one, our sweet girl, no go, humble for the week. Then later, he tweeted, make stray bullet no hit us. So now the stray bullets, this post was after the whole post of Mercy and Venita's handlers. I'll tell you guys what they tweeted. But first of all, let me tell you guys what happened that even caused the tweeting in the first place. Background story. So Adekunle has only slept on Venita's bed. Yes, that's the only other bed he has slept on. And two of them kind of have one relationship like that. Or it looks like they have a relationship. So Venita, while in the garden, she was talking and she was spilling tea basically about how Adekunle was stroking Mercy like a cat from the side of her thighs downwards, how she was sleeping during the yoga session this in the morning, and he put his head, her head, sorry, that's Mercy's head, on his lap for her to sleep, how it was they were obviously yoga mats there, but he decided to put her head on his leg, and she was just basically spilling. You know this kind talk of babe with the relationship. This guy, my boyfriend, not supposed to do this. That was the vibe it was giving. She even stated that Mercy is her girl and Mercy doesn't even know what's happening. Yes, that Mercy doesn't know what's happening. If not, she wouldn't have allowed that. You guys get it now. So Twitter people went at her and all that. And one of the things people were saying is this tweet you're currently seeing. And there were many other tweets like this. So this person was like, meet Adekunle, the first male housemate to enter marriage without his permission, knowledge, or notice. Now, what do you think about this? Do you think that she was actually coming from that place, or she just felt a certain kind of way that he wasn't meant to do it? And do you feel like she was in the right to feel that type of way about what he was doing? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, so Mercy handler can't tweet, oh, too much salaye no dey full basket, you go talk tire o, mercenaries odogu fan base. And in response, Venita's handler tweeted, shush your mouth and go and find your highlights somewhere else. Next time, use your art button if it's sure for you. Come put clown emoji. Venita the show, e pain you, furniture. Now, the bad part about this tweet now was that they now put Doyin's picture. You know the drawing Adekunle made for her? Yes, the clown drawing, painting that he did on her face. They put that picture. Meaning stray bullets hit Doyin that did not even do anything. That was why Sisi's handler posted and was like, this guy made stray bullets no reach also. And then Doyin's handler even came and responded that tweet. Doyin's handler was like, handler, how far the picture you use now? This guy, why you go use that picture? The whole thing was just so funny because Doyin we no even know anything about the matter. She collects. Everybody they collect. If you ask me, these two girls are friends, and Venetia did not say anything bad about Mercy. Instead, it was about Adekunle basically. So for me, these tweets in the first place were not necessary. That's how I feel. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So let's move over to the games the housemates played yesterday night. Before the game, Cross had a conversation with Sissy, and in that conversation, he was talking about how he loved to organize games and do games and how he's very spontaneous with his games. However, since they got to the house, he has noticed that Neo has put it upon himself and really doesn't want any other person to host. So he's just observing for now. And Sissy was like, they've not gotten into the house for too long. Maybe a lot of things have happened, but they've not gotten into the house for too long. That it's just 2 weeks, which the 2 weeks hasn't really been like they never complete the 2 weeks. So he should just calm down. There'll be different opportunities for him to play, do his own games, and he can just do them without any this thing care of what the other people would feel and all that. If that's what he loves doing, he should go ahead and do it. Now, the things that the housemates were picking in the box that Neo is currently holding on the screen, yes, they were written by Adekunle and Neo. So Adekunle was assisting Neo for tonight's game, and basically they just played concentration, they played lemon lemon, and they played clap and snap. Now, when you fail, you then pick from the box, and whatever you pick, you either do it or you drink. And they started off the game with everyone taking 2 shots basically, and to measure the shots they used a spoon. It was a deep spoon, yes, a cooking spoon or dishing spoon rather, that they used as their measurements. You know when to change specially for this. I'll quickly run through the either truths or theirs or questions that the housemates had to do. Now, let me mention that there were 19 questions in total, or 90 things to do in total. Yes, the first person to pick was Cross, and his own was that the person beside him, that's by his right, should take a shot, and it was Princess, and she took. For Pere said Pere did 10 push-ups. Fraud had to tell a joke for everyone to laugh. He also had to pick a housemate he felt like he had the wrong impression of, and he picked Pere. Kidwire had to pick a girl and tell which of the girls' boobs was bigger by feeling it, and he drank. Uriel had to jump up and basically shake her boobs for 10 seconds and she drank. Sissy was to pick anyone in the group and kiss, but baby girl drank. Ilebaye had a lot, like she picked a lot. The first one was that she dared someone at her 2 o'clock, and instead of doing the dare, she drank. Alex was told to say the last word of the national anthem, which was unity. She could not remember it in 5 seconds, so she drank. Kidwire was to pick somebody and use his teeth to take off a piece of her clothing. And at first, he went to Sissy, but Sissy told him that that robe was the only thing she was wearing. So he went to Princess and he did it. Pere was asked to pick a guy and ride him, and he was like, hell no, a guy? And he drank. So they asked Ilebaye when was the last time she had sex before the show, and Ilebaye said that she has never had sex. Yes, you heard correctly, that she is a virgin. And for Pere, they asked him, what is something you would want, like you would forever want to be? And Pere said he would want to be a porn star forever. Now, I don't know, I stand to be corrected, but this answer just gave me like this answer, when he said it, what just came to my mind is I want to trend. Yes. It gave me the vibe of when I've forgotten that housemate in their mercy set said he was a stripper, whereas he was not a stripper. Well, moving on from that, that was what he said. Lebaye was asked to describe the next person to her in 2 words and pass it round. And she did that. I'm not going to be talking about all those compliments. Baye too was to show 3 sex positions. And when they told her to show 3 sex positions, someone was like, someone that said she has not had sex before. And she was like, what? That she has watched 50 Shades and 50 Shades Darker. So what are they saying? And then she picked Pere, yes, Pere the porn star, according to the housemates. And she did the dares with Pere. Then for Cross was told that he should tell something about himself that people would not believe. And at first, it was like that he likes threesome. They were like, they believe that. He was like that he hasn't masturbated in a while. They were like, yes, he has said that, so they know that. And lastly, he was like, okay, that he dated a girl for 2 years and the girl was a virgin. So he did not touch her. And for that period, he did not have anything to do with anyone outside. And that was the one that the housemates now believed. Therefore, Princess told her that she should tell the person by her left how she feels currently about the person. And instead of doing that, she drank. Mercy, they asked her what was her wildest fantasy. Like, does she have a wide fantasy? And if she has, she should state it. Instead of doing that, she drank. They told Pere to list 5 sponsors of the show in 5 seconds, and he did it. They told Ilebaye to spin a bottle and ask what, like whoever the bottle hits, she should ask the person a question. And it stopped at Pere, and then she asked Pere that if he was to have sex, basically, that's if he was to be in a threesome, yes, who would the ladies be? And he wasted no time in picking Mercy and Venita. Venita was asked that the person in front of her should take a shot, yes, and White Money took a shot. And White Money, then at that point in time, they started doing whoever feels drink. White Money at that point in time picked, and what was said there was that he should say what he feels about the person by his right, and that was Mercy. And I did not even understand what my White Money was doing. He say, I feel sorry for you. You know how I feel. Well, he just said all that. Now, Mercy was asked, when Mercy picked that the left person, the person by her left should take a shot, and that was White Money again. And then White Money took the shot and then had to pick again. And he was like, that one that he picked, they were like he should pick someone and demonstrate the missionary position with the person. And that's what you can see on your screen, where he picked Mercy and demonstrated it. Mercy was to demonstrate the reverse cowgirl, and she drank. Then they now did a break of everyone drinking, and at that point in time, everyone was to pick for Sheyi what was the perfect size of DICK that he could take. And he was like, hell no, he's a guy and all that. So they changed the question, and the question that he picked was, what's an experience he would like to relive? And he said the day his child came on earth. Yes, for Doing was to spin and dare whoever it pointed to, and it was Uriel, and she dared Uriel to pick her least favorite people in the group, and Uriel picked Princess. Now, this picking of Princess later resulted to drama, but that one will be later. For Cece was asked if she was in a ship or a triangle in the house, and she was like, no. For Angel was to apologize to someone she thinks she has offended, and that was when she apologized to Sheyi, and Sheyi stood up and hugged her. Yes, they hugged. Princess Princess picked that she should pick anyone and use her tongue to tickle their ears. And she drank because she was like, that's gross. So Ike was asked that if he could express something to anyone in the house, who would it be? And he was like, Alex. And for him, he was like that Alex has good vibes and all. And he was to pick 6 people to do the same thing. He picked Angel, and Angel picked Fraud, that said that Fraud was a sweet and nice person. He picked White Money. White Money picked Kid and said that he fucks with Kid, he loves Kid, he likes his personality and all that. He picked Mercy, that spoke to Venita and said that Venita is smart. She's glad that Venita is her friend. She loves her and all that, which Venita says she loves her too. He picked Tolani Badge, and Tolani Badge said that she wants to drink. She's sorry, but she wants to drink. She has not drank enough. He picked Neo, and Neo spoke to Venita, telling Venita that he loves her and he always looks up to her. He picked Princess, and this was where Princess responded to Uriel. And Princess was like that she appreciates her Uriel's comment, but that Uriel needs to wear her big girl pants. She needs to wear her big girl shoes and talk to her, speak to her about it, and let her know why she's her least favorite person in the group, instead of just giving her that energy. He asked Cross if he was not in the house, what will he be doing? And he said clubbing. For Tolani, they said, whose character are you most shocked about in the house? And she picked Cece. And Cece was like, why? But he told Cece that that was not part of the question. She and Tolani can talk later on. Then Venita picked that, what is your pet peeve? And for her, she was like, anyone who doesn't take accountability for their fuck up. Yes, that's her pet peeve. Then for Soma was to spell the surname of the person sitting next to him, and that was Ilebaye, and he failed it. And Sheyi drank for him. Basically, Sheyi and Venita were lobbying for drinks. Yes, it was that serious. For Ilebaye, she was to spell money points backwards. Uriel was to tell the house who best fit her foot peg in the house, and she was like Cross. Pere was to say what someone does in the house that gets him turned on, and he said nobody. Alex was to pick anyone to do doggy with, and she picked White Money, who drank. Because they told him that she will be the one to do the doggy to him. Kid was to read the alphabet from behind. Fraud was to do 10 push-ups. Mercy was to give everyone a shot. White Money picked that he should touch any part of anybody and describe that part of the person's body, and he picks Sissy. And at that point in time, he touched Sissy's head and was like, she know the hear word. For Sheyi was to bring a song that starts with energy. Yes, and he was to sing. For Doing was to pick 3 girls and smell them. Yes, and says who smells good and who is the least person, like who has the least smell. And she smelled Sissy, Tolani Badge, and Venita, and she was like that Venita smells the best. However, all the girls smells amazing, and she cannot say one of them smell bad. Princess was to pick Cross and basically toast him, which she did. Ike was to call 5 winners, and he mentioned it without mentioning Mercy's name. And people were like, you forgot Mercy's name? Cross was asked a part of his body or something that turns him on the fastest, and he said his neck. Tolani Badge was to pick anyone and say the color of her undies to the person, and she was like, she does not wear undies. So, and they were like, someone has to confirm. Doing went to confirm. Venita was to do 10 squats, which she did. Soma was to name 3 ships in the BBN in 5 seconds, and he did. Ilebaye was to impersonate 2 of her favorite animals, which she did. Uriel was to act like how she would act if she wins, and she just screamed. Pere was to pick 2 people he feels he can handle in a threesome, and he picked Mercy and Venita again. And at this point, Uriel was like, at least he is constant in the selection of women. Alex was asked to pick whose bed she would like to sleep in, and she said she. Kidwire was asked to pick someone and kiss for 30 seconds. He drank. Fraud picked a blank card and asked for a shot. Yes. Mercy was to spell the person sitting next to her surname, and it was White Money, and she failed it, so she had to drink. White Money was asked the one thing he would never do sexually, basically, and he said he would never give head. Because people were surprised, White Money changed it to he will only give his wife and all that. And I'm like, own it. If you feel you will not be able to do that, it's nobody's business, basically. Sheyi was to pick someone he fancies and kiss the person's neck. He's a married man. Baba drank. Dane was asked to pick a guy and play with his bum bum. Yes, she drank. Sissy was asked to pick a guy and touch his nipples for 15 seconds, and she picked Cross. And 2 of them were doing, I call him brother, I call my sister too. Yes, they were doing their brothers and sister. And she was touching it, and Cross was doing some weird movements. And people were like, but you said it's your neck that turns you on now. Brother, what's happening? Angel was asked if she would have sex with anyone in the house, and she should pick 6 other people to answer the question. And she was like, yes, that she would like to have sex with 10 people in the house, but not on the show, definitely. And at that point, Adekunle was like, 10 people, male or female. And Angel was like, sure, this guy, leave me alone. At that point, she picked Venita. Venita said yes. Uriel said yes. Neil said yes. I did not get Shei's answer. Fraud said no. Soma said yes. Princess was asked to pick someone. The person will stick out his or her tongue, and she will put a finger in the tongue and taste it. And she picked Venita. Yes, and she did it. Ike was asked who he would never fuck in the group there, and he said he would never fuck the guys. What a smart way to answer the question. Cross was to spell munchies backwards. Tolani Badge was to twerk for 10 seconds, which she did also. Venita was to take 2 shots and give a shot to 4 people, and she picked Shei, Fraud, Doing, and the last one was for Mercy and Ike to share. Soma was to tell the age of the person before him, which was Venita, and he failed it. Baye was to tell 3 turn-offs for her in a guy. And she said cheating, confused, and not being an explorer. Uriel was to pick anyone and carry the person for 10 seconds. She drank even though she could do it because she's a very physical person. Like, she does exercise and all that, so she could have done it. Basically, Pere was just getting the sex questions. Pere picked, and it was wider sex fantasy, and for him it was like it is having sex on a skyscraper. Yes, and there has to be glass there and all that serene. Alex was asked to run to the toilet and get an air freshener, and when she left, the housemates were like, oh, finally, because basically Alex was talking throughout the game, and she was always being cautioned to keep quiet. So at that point, people were like, oh, sign of relief, which later on Fraud and Mercy told her about, telling her that at times she should calm down, and they're not saying she should dim her light, but then she should calm down and allow others, like this game now, what she did. And then she referred it back to the tax, saying that they are trying to also refer it back there, blah blah blah. And Fraud was like that even with the tax, that script writing, she colobied it and all that. And she was like, oh, that is why she did not want to do this tax they just want, this wager they just want, and all that she stayed away from it and all that. Kid was to say 2 lies and 1 truth, and he said he is not married. He had a girlfriend when he was first on the show, and he is broke. Fraud was to pick someone and give the person a lap dance, and he picked Mercy and did it. Mercy was to finish a bottle of water, and she was like, hell no, she's not doing that. She even wants to drink and all. Then she picked another one that she should tell 15 alphabets, which she did. White Money picked that he should pick anyone he likes and suck their toes. Baba drank. Sheyi was asked to pick anyone and smack them 5 times romantically, and he picked Alex and smacked Alice. And lest I forget, it was during that conversation Alex was having with Fraud and Mercy that we got to know that Alex picked Sissy as someone she doesn't like in the house. Yes. And they were also trying to let her know that there are some questions that you just drink for. Yes, not like you would not say it, but instead of saying it to avoid people having like looking at you in a certain kind of way, just drink. And she was like that. Who would she have called? That there was no other person to call there. So it had to be Sissy. At that point in time, I'm like, there's no love lost amongst those two. So abeg na there sabi. So that's all I have for you guys on this video. Please, if you're yet to subscribe, kindly click on the subscription button, click on the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I post any new video. Bye guys.